Had it all the way, Todd?
Like to say that. Probably when I get about 30 years old, I can say that.
Todd, can you talk about the play of your defense? Really outstanding all night, with the exception of that one play to Cooper Kupp, but it did enough to win.
I thought they fought hard. You know, they were very good in situational football this week. Third down and mostly in the red zone, they were pretty good keeping them out with 7. So, you know, other than that one play, probably 2 plays there, those guys played tough. They communicated all night, and, you know, hats off to them. They did a heck of a job.
Also talk about the play of Vita Vea coming up with a couple of big sacks for you in some key situations.
We knew we had to win the line of scrimmage, and Vita was a big part of that going into the week. And, you know, we were determined to try to get him free and at least match him up a little bit, and he came through for us.
Did Hicks' presence tonight help Vea freed him up to be able to do those things?
It helped him a lot. You know, we got 2 big guys in there, so you got to kind of pick and choose who you double. So Hicks' presence allows other people to get free to make up for some of the things that Shaq did when he was in here.
Can you tell us how big Cade Otton was in this game? And you know, just prior to the drive, prior to that, a kind of a combat catch down on the goal line, come back and make that play.
Cade is huge. Cade has been huge the last couple of weeks, you know, just blocking, making quality catches, making timely catches, and the game not being too big for him. You know, I think he had one of those catches in preseason as well, and it came right back to him, and, you know, he's developing into a good pro early in his career.
Todd, how big was Camarda for you today, just flipping the field?
Camarda was huge. I mean, we gave him a game ball. You know, he was huge today. Without him punting that ball and changing the field position, we'd probably be in some tough situations.
There's so much disappointment and frustration that's built up in the last 3 weeks. What's that locker room like in there right now?
It's joyous. We won. We hadn't won in a couple of weeks, you know. I was happy to get a win. It was a hard-fought game. It was complimentary football. It was a team win. You know, it's a lot easier to fly overseas after you win a game than lose a game. So we just got to start putting them together.
How much can an emotional victory like this help propel a team that's been struggling?
Hopefully a lot, you know, hopefully a lot. We'll see as the time goes, but we understand the work we have to put in to get to where we need to be.
Other than that spiked ball by Brady, he was perfect on that drive. You guys had great execution on that game-winning drive. What did you see on that game-winning drive in which Brady connected with Auden?
It's like you said, hey, great execution. They were doubling Mike and Chris, and Scotty and Cade made some timely catches. Leonard made a good catch going down that way. So, you know, those other guys started making plays, and we spread the ball around a little bit.
Todd, how do you synthesize sort of the first 3 quarters offensively where things are just not going your way, and then ultimately come to the conclusion of the win, that last drive, and how things just fell into place there at the end?
It was a grind. For 3 quarters, it was a grind. When we had something going, we either got a setback with a penalty, or we got a holding call, or we got a false start, and we shot ourselves in the foot. But those guys stuck with it. They were determined to fight this thing out to the end. We knew we had to keep a close game. Usually when we play them in the past, they get ahead of us pretty good, and we become one-dimensional. But I thought those guys fought hard, and they scrapped, and they came through.
Speaking of setbacks, offensively in the second quarter, Julio Jones looked like he was in motion and like he might have ran the wrong way. It was a 2nd and 6. Do you know what happened there?
Well, I got to see what the play call was and what he audibled to first in order that got us confused.
Todd, is there anybody better in that situation? I mean, he gets them down there, you don't score, the defense gets it back, but when Tom Brady has the ball, you feel like you have a chance, right?
We always have a chance with him. Grateful to have him. You know, he got over 100,000 yards. That's a long playing career for anybody. Still plays at a high level. We love the guy to death.
What can you say about him, too, the fact that he has those moments in these meaningful games, like that Buffalo game in overtime last year, right? Like his 700th career touchdown pass is the game winner to Rashad Perryman.
I mean, you run out of things to say about him. I'm sure I can't say anything different than the 50 million people that's already commented things on him. You know, he's a great player. He's one of the best, if not the best, to ever play the game, and, you know, he continues to do that.
I know you didn't like the long pass to Kupp, Todd, but talk about how the secondary contested most of those throws all game.
For the most part, you know, I was happy with the yak yards. They didn't catch and run for a bunch of yards, minus that play, which was big because they're a big catch and run team, and they're a big jet sweep team. I thought they did a heck of a job between Bunning, Carlton, and Dean, and Mike and Keanu did a heck of a job of containing the receivers when they were running the football. We thought that was big going into the game.
Was it just a miscommunication on that touchdown?
It was a bust, let's just say that.
Todd, when you look at this, the Saints have been problematic for you guys for several years. The Rams, you guys were 0-3. What level of satisfaction is it for you and for this team to beat the Rams and finally kind of end that streak tonight?
Well, satisfaction to win. You don't get satisfaction unless you make the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl, but for a regular season win, beat somebody that hadn't beaten you in a while, it's a nod. It's not a great satisfaction. We just lost 3 in a row, so this one obviously cures today, and we got to get ready tomorrow, have a 24-hour rule, and move on to Seattle.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Tom Brady next.